What is up, y'all? How's it going? Welcome to the channel and welcome back to the channel. Before y'all come at me, I'm not a Saints fan. I just got the jersey on because this is a Deuce McAllister jersey. I don't know if you guys know who Deuce McAllister was. He was a running back in the early 2000s. He was one of my favorite players back then. So, hey, I had to support him, so I got his jersey. But still, bang, bang, Niner gang.
Bang bang Niner gang. Bang bang Niner gang.
But anywho, today I'm going to talk about the books that I read so far this year. And y'all, I can't believe it's July. Yeah, it's July. And by the way, if you hear some banging noises in the background, it's almost 4th of July. People got the fireworks. So if you hear a boom, disregard it. But anywho, I'm going to first start off with books that I DNF. Man, I can't believe it's almost 2026 already. We're halfway there, folks. But I'm going to start off with books that I DNF'd. Then I'm going to start with books that I liked. And then the last that I cover are books that I thought were great, in my opinion. So the first book, first of all, I want to tell you guys this year I didn't read as many books as I did last year because this year I've been reading a lot of comics and a lot of good indie comics and good DC comics and Image comics. Marvel, I don't know what y'all doing, Marvel. Y'all need to tighten up your movies, your comic books. Y'all are slacking. But anywho, let's start off with Even If We Break by Mirkiri Najinkamp. I don't know if I spelled that name right or pronounced that name right, but yeah. So I think I said before in the previous video that this book was just, for me, it was confusing because the points of views, every chapter is a person, a different person of the crew. There's like 5 to 6 people in this little crew in this cabin, and they're into role playing, live action role playing, LARPing, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, and just every chapter is about a person, but the way it's written, I didn't know if it was a male character or a female character. It just has the name of the person. You know, I don't know who Finn is. Is Finn a man? Is Finn a woman? But the dialogue is just so boring. I just couldn't get through it. I'm like, I'm waiting for something exciting to happen. It just never comes. You know, I tried to look at reviews from other YouTubers, and they said I guess it gets better. But man, if it's not catching me a quarter of the way through, I don't know. It's hard for me to keep reading nowadays, man. But yeah, this is a DNF. Man, I'm kind of mad about this one and kind of sad. This Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Oh, y'all, I wanted to like this. I wanted to like this so bad, but it's YA, or it reads YA, and y'all know how I feel about YA. I just can't get into it. Maybe I'll come back to this. I don't know, but yeah, I had to DNF this. This wasn't doing it for me. Just I don't know. The dialogue was kind of too lovey-dovey for me. Nothing against that stuff. You guys like romance and all that, you know, all that jazz, but just not for me. And the third book that I DNF'd, it was The Depraved by Brian Smith. And this book right here has a kind of, I don't know if you've seen the movie Wrong Turn. It has a Wrong Turn vibes to it. There's a lot of backwoods people from Tennessee. A lot of inbred going on, a lot of cannibalism. So it wasn't bad. I just got tired of the way they talked in the book. You know, I get it, they're from Tennessee, but come on, you know, the way the dialogue reads, it's just didn't do it for me. You know, it has the, you know, the violence and gore that I like sometimes in books, but this just wasn't for me. Sorry. All right. So I'm gonna start with the higher tier books. These are the likes, and then I'm gonna get to the books that I thought were great. So, man, I hate to say this, but Freed McFadden, I love your books, but the coworker to me was just kind of, it was just, I wouldn't say it was middle of the road. It was just a little bit above the middle of the road. Kind of underwhelming, but a little, I don't know. I'm rambling, but it had me entertained. I ain't gonna lie, it had me entertained, but this wasn't her best work. How can I describe this? It's about a coworker who basically bullies another coworker, allegedly. I don't want to describe the book too much in details, but there are definitely twists in this book, but to me, it's not Freda's best work. All right, this is Darcy Coates' The Hunted, and this book right here definitely had a good twist to it. I thought this book was entertaining. Some woman, she gets lost in the woods, and her friends go attempt to find her in these woods, and what they think is Bigfoot, attacking people in these woods. But there's more to it than that. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but this was a good, suspenseful book. I do recommend it, but it wasn't the best that I thought so far. And the next book I'm gonna talk about is the Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I thought this book right here. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie. What was it? The movie. It was Saltburn. It wasn't as disgusting as Saltburn, but the main character of Saltburn kind of reminds me of one of the characters in this book. Something happens to this guy in this apartment, and his friends and family start looking for him. But this guy kind of has, what's the word I'm looking for? Charisma, where he gets along with men and women, and they kind of like him a little too much. That's why I kind of make the same kind of reference with the movie Saltburn. But yeah, this is a pretty good book, but it wasn't the best. The next book I got is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I think this is the first book that I read by Grady Hendrix. This has IKEA vibes written all over it. The book is kind of modeled after an IKEA catalog, and the book even has IKEA references in the book. It's kind of an IKEA knockoff. It's called Orsk, but this is a horror book. It's kind of like a haunted house type of vibe, haunted house type of book where there's a lot of ghosts and paranormal. It's got seances in it. So if you like that kind of stuff, supernatural, this book is kind of for you. This book is kind of campy as well. If you like campiness in your books, check this out. I do recommend it, but it's not the best. All right. So now I got 4 more books, and these are the top tier for me. So I got another Freida McFadden book that I read, and this is The Crash. So this reminded me of the movie Misery. I never read the book Misery, so I don't know which is better. Some people might say the book is better, but I only seen the movie Misery. But it has the same vibes to it. If you've seen Misery, a person gets to a crash, and the person gets taken to somebody's house, and they get tended to medically. But it's not like Misery. It's different. There's different elements to the story, but this also has lots of twists and turns, y'all. So I don't want to say too much about it because I might slip up and spoil it. But The Crash, this was good. So there's more Freedom McFadden books out there for me to read. So I think this is my 6th book. So 6 and counting. All right. 3 more left, y'all. So this is a sequel to Gone to See the Riverman, but this is called Along the River of Flesh by Christopher Triana. And this book, man, this book is so crazy. This is not going to be for everybody because there's a lot of sick, I want to say dialogue. I guess you can't say dialogue, but there's a lot of death scenes. There's a lot of dismemberments. There's creepy cabins. There's creepy woods. Individuals that have no morals in this book. They're morally bankrupt. So basically, you need to turn your brain off to enjoy this. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. This would definitely be, if it was a movie, this would definitely be on the same vibes as, what did I say? I don't know if you guys ever seen Hostel, like that type of vibes as far as violence and stuff. What else? Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now, but I'll put it on the screen if I think about it. But yeah, Along the River of Flesh. Sometimes I think the author, he kind of goes overboard with just for the sake of freaking people out when they read it, or grossing people out. But, I kind of like stuff like that. I like horror movies and stuff, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, this is not for the faint of heart. All right, 2 more, y'all. And these 2 are by S.A. Cosby, and he's starting to be one of my favorite authors. So the first book that I read from him was Razorblade Tears. Razorblade Tears is kind of like a buddy cop type of vibe, reminding me of Lethal Weapon. It has a black and white male characters. They both have a troubled past. They're both criminals. Something happens to their sons and they want to get to the bottom of what happened. So if you like action-packed movies, you'll like this book right here. Has I guess it is kind of a twist because one of the individuals that they're looking for, you think is, a certain type of person, but it ended up being, let me just stop right there. I might say something. I might spoil. Anyway, this is, man, one of the best books that I read this year so far. And the last book was Blacktop Wasteland, and this is by S.A. Cosby as well. So this kind of had Fast and Furious vibes or Baby Driver vibes because the main character, he's pretty much a getaway man, and you get him in a fast car and you gotta go somewhere, point A to point B fast and get in and get out. Beauregard is the man you need to call. But yeah, this is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a good book. It's just action-packed, I loved it. And I do recommend it. So let me show y'all the top 5 books, or top 4 that I had this year so far. So out of these 4, I recommend these the most. They're very different types of books. These are kind of similar, and these are way different. But yeah, these 4 right here, I recommend the most. But that's all I got, y'all. I showed you my books. Actually, there's one more that I don't have, and it was an audio book, and I think the title is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, and it was a novella. I can't remember the author's name. I'll throw it up here on the screen. But y'all, that book right there was very depressing, and the reason why I liked it because it's like a long distance romance. These people never met in person, but these people are like corresponding back and forth through emails and texts. And I think one person is in love more than the other person. And that person that's not in love with the other person gets this individual to do these crazy things, just for love. But the reason why I liked it is because something like this can happen in real life. People get easily swayed if they're in love with somebody. It's a two lesbian couples. But yeah, that book is awesome too. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. I recommend y'all read that one too. But hey, that's all I got for today. I appreciate y'all checking out all the books that I read and some of the books that I DNF'd. And hey, if you could, leave a like, drop a comment, hey, subscribe. I appreciate everything. Hey, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.